Good morning and welcome to today's edition of Plus Sports Special on Plus TV, right here in your homes. My name is Wale Agbede, and first of all, I would like to apologize for coming to your screens a little bit late due to unavoidable circumstances. But let's just get straight up, right up into all of the sporting conversations that we want to have on Plus Sports on Plus TV this morning. I will start off from the home front, this time in basketball, where Nigeria's chances of picking a World Cup ticket waned after its basketball team, the Tigers, lost their opening qualifier encounter to Ivory Coast at the 2022 FIBA World Cup African Qualifiers at the 3,500 capacity Palais des Sports Trècheville in Abidjan. The Tigers lost 66-78 to Ivory Coast after an imposing performance from Adefeso Fofana, who led the game in scoring with 25 points, while the Tigers' Josh Okoje recorded 23 points. The victory over Nigeria meant that Côte d'Ivoire are now favourites so far in Group E. I have a basketball expert on the show with me today. Femi Adefeso joins us live from Lagos. Femi, good morning.
Good morning, Wale. Good to join you on the show this morning.
Fantastic to have you. Femi is probably the #1 basketball analyst in the country today, and I say that with a lot of respect. Femi, what's up with the Tigers over there in Abidjan?
It's not looking good, bro. Thanks for the compliment. It's not looking good at all with everything going on. As we sit right now, we are 5th on the log of a 16 table, and only 2 teams will qualify automatically, and then the best third from the 2 groups will end up going to the next round. So it shows we're in a very precarious situation. Having won just 2 games out of 5 in total. You have the likes of Ivory Coast in that group we just mentioned. They had a very fantastic game. I thought because they were playing in front of their own crowd, that gave them some bite. But you look at the chaos happening at home and how it has affected, the way we've prepared, coaching staff, even the players. Their mindset is not really all that. And I think that's what has come to affect them. Look at our game. We're shooting 21% from 3-point line, 48% from twos, compared to Ivory Coast, we're shooting over 60%. From free throws, Ivory Coast were like 84% from the free throw line. We were just like 62. So you could tell that, mentally and, from a tactical standpoint, our team is not there yet, and it's quite unfortunate that we might be losing out on going to the World Cup next year if things don't change. I really don't know how it will happen, but hey, being 5th, we have to win all the remaining games, and we hope the likes of Cape Verde, Guinea don't get a good one, because already Ivory Coast and Angola look almost set to go with the automatic qualifying slots in the group.
Femi, I hear that Mike Brown, who is the coach of the Tigers, is not with the team in Côte d'Ivoire. Can you confirm this, and is there an official reason why he's not with the team?
Well, no official reason, but I can confirm is Ifon Dofia, who is leading the lines as we speak in Ivory Coast. The last window we had Julius Nwosu. That was when the interim management committee instituted by the Federal Ministry of Sports appointed him to take charge of the team going there. And this is part of the reasons why we haven't played very well. It's not like we don't have a big team. These guys can play. But you look at change of backroom staff, change of personnel. It's not the same players who played the last window that played this one. And I think that last window, because of the chaos and everything that was going on, is what is costing us now, because this qualifier is a accumulation of all your previous games. We've played Cape Verde twice. We lost to them twice already. So head-to-head, it's already going to count against us before we go to the second round. And now the second round, you accumulate both your first round results with this one, and we've already lost 1 game already. And it's because we've had like 3 different coaches to hold us to these qualifiers, and it's what is happening now. With Mike Brown, he just got a new head coach role at Sacramento Kings. I really don't think he would be free enough to do as much as he would have loved to. But Ifon Dofia is the one now. I hope we retain him, because next thing now we hear somebody else is coming again just to take interim charge of the team, which is not very good.
All right, yes, Mike Brown with that big job at the Kings over there in the NBA. But Femi, before I let you go, so I mean, with what is looking gloomy right now with the Tigers and their chances of qualifying for the World Cup. To you, your personal opinion, how much should I say? What percentage chance do we have left to qualify? Having lost, like you said, to Cape Verde home and away, and of course head-to-head counts. Lost already to Cote d'Ivoire yesterday. We have a game today, if I'm correct.
Yes,
what's our percentage chance of qualifying for the World Cup?
Well, it's very slim. If I were to put a percentage to it, maybe about 25-30%. Because we need to beat Guinea, and then we need to beat Uganda, and then we need to hope that Cape Verde somehow, somewhere also drops 2 games, because they are sitting third in the group. 5 teams are going to the World Cup this year. 2 teams qualify automatically, then the best third team, like they say, across both groups. So you see, even making third position doesn't even guarantee you going to the World Cup, but it just puts you, in that mathematical permutation scheme of things. So as it's looking, except something goes wrong for Angola, between Angola and Cape Verde, they look like they'll be finishing second, but I think Ivory Coast has gotten all they need. Just one more win, they'll be very comfortable going through. So we need to play for third now and just hope that other teams don't do well, so we can benefit from their misery as they were to get through. That's how tough it is for us right now.
All right, hopefully Nigeria does make it to the FIBA World Cup, where I hope that you will be over there covering and getting all of those live content like you always love to do. Thank you very much, Femi Adefeso, for joining us on the show this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right, moving on quickly to Formula One. Red Bull's Formula One Championship leader Max Verstappen lapped fastest yesterday in practice for a Belgian Grand Prix that he will start from the back of the grid. The Dutchman lapped the daunting Spa-Francorchamps track in 1 minute 5.0 seconds, a comfortable 0.862 seconds clear of his Ferrari title rival Charles Leclerc, who will also have a grid drop in the second session. The 2 championship frontrunners will start amongst the tail enders after they collected engine and gearbox-related penalties. Verstappen leads Leclerc by 80 points in the overall standings with 9 races to go and does not need to win again to clinch a second successive title if results go his way. But the penalties will come as a blow to Leclerc's hopes. However unlikely of closing the gap. McLaren's Lando Norris, 13th fastest in Friday's opening hour of practice, vaulted up to third in the second session, but also has penalties that will send him to the back on Sunday. All right, Formula One is in Spa this weekend for the Belgium Grand Prix. And let me quickly bring in Boyega Gbenga to join me live on the show all the way from Abuja. Gbenga, good morning.
And it's nice to be here.
Fantastic to have you, Gbenga. Let's start off from Formula One before we move on into some football. Charles Leclerc, Verstappen. Leclerc obviously 80 points behind, but both of them will be starting at the end of the grid over there in Spa tomorrow.
Yeah, so first of all, I think I'm beginning to get impressed with the development of other teams aside from Mercedes. So far, fans have been saying we know what to expect when it's Mercedes versus Ferrari. But this season has thrown the F1 open. It's now Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, and a lot. So it's beautiful to be seen. I followed through the training session on Friday, and Charles Leclerc looked very, very promising going into the Grand Prix. So yeah, it's really wide open, and hopefully fans have a lot of things to cheer for.
All right, so Max Verstappen, a lot of people, people have divided opinions as to how good he is. Some have questioned his brashness, his propensity to not shy away from the challenge, and he has crashed a lot in Formula One. But it looks like he's going to be back-to-back champion this season if Charles Leclerc and Ferrari don't find a solution to his Red Bull car.
Well, attitude has nothing to do with the game. We see it in football, we see it in basketball, we see it in other sports where players who are aggressive to the approach of their game still churn out quality output. So the fact that he's been brash, the fact that he gets involved in accidents, it hasn't reduced his quality. As you can see on the table, he's currently #1 according to the training of yesterday. So yeah, his brashness has nothing to do with the game. The moment we begin to get, how would I put it, get concerned is when it begins to affect his game, when he's not winning matches, when he's not getting to the podium. That's when we can be concerned. But for now, he's currently number one. So why are we concerned?
All right. For me, I mean, I think that, I mean, maybe still not as good as people think. My personal opinion. I think Red Bull, they've probably enjoyed some goodwill from the, I mean, all the hula baloo going on with Ferrari and how they've
but it's been shared so far. It's not a one horse race.
I'm just saying that, I mean, the Red Bull team haven't helped Charles Leclerc a lot with many of their decisions during races. But quickly, let's move on to football now. I will start off from France, where Paris Saint-Germain's coach, Christophe Galtier, yesterday was keen to play down his side's chances in the Champions League after Thursday's draw in Istanbul. PSG were grouped with Italian giants Juventus, Portugal's Benfica, and Maccabi Haifa of Israel for the tournament's mini-league stage. After 3 matches in the domestic league, PSG are top with maximum points and a goal difference of +14, and the galaxy of superstars is beginning to gel after what could be seen as a misfire under previous coach Maurizio Pochettino. Last season, the Paris Saints romped to the title with a 15-point advantage over second-placed Olympique de Marseille, despite Lionel Messi failing to impress, Neymar and Kylian Mbappe being unsettled, and Sergio Ramos missing most of the campaign. Let's start off from France today. Gbenga, Paris Saint-Germain have looked really, really solid and settled under Christophe Galtier with his 3-4-1-2 system that seems to have optimized the performances of their 3 superstars in front. Do you think that PSG might just be going for the Champions League this season?
So first of all, I like to point out that Lionel Messi has found his forte in France. So last season, he was mostly used as a false 9 or sometimes coming through the wings on the right, which he has been used to in Barcelona. But it's looking like Christopher Garcia has found out that the number 10 suits him best. Even when Kylian Mbappe didn't start the first match, where I think it was Musiala that came in alongside Neymar, Messi still stood in the number 10 position. And subsequently, when Mbappe returned to before, he maintained his number 10 position, allowing Neymar and Mbappe make the runs while he spread the passes. And he himself has gotten all the goals. Last season, he had what? Just 2 goals all season with 14 assists. This time around, 3 games into the season, and he's already having 2 or more goals and having 1 or 2 assists. So yeah, Christopher Garcia has found out where to play each player and try to avoid the friction in the dressing room affecting the players on the pitch.
Well, let's move on to the Premier League, Gbenga, where we have match day 4 games starting today. Some of the big clubs in action in the Premier League. But, I mean, let's start off from Manchester United, who, I mean, we hear will have Casemiro available for their game this weekend. I mean, how well do you think Casemiro improves that side, first of all?
Very well, very well. His status, his quality, his pedigree is never in question. I fell into an interview where he was asked, how does he feel about playing in the Europa League? And he was like, come on, I have 5 Champions Leagues already. So that's a player who knows that regardless of the competition he plays, he's going to give his all. He's going to be professional. So they've gotten a professional player, they've gotten a quality player, they've gotten an experienced player who will play more likely like a number 6. Like a DPL, or how do they call it? So yeah, they've gotten quality to the midfield after letting go of Mata, Oba, Matic, and the likes. So the likes of Fred and McTominay will either have to improve or spend more time on the bench. So going forward into the season, Manchester United, especially Erik ten Hag, needs to get the best out of the squad and maybe revolve around the quality and experience of Casemiro.
All right, Gbenga, another team that, you know, they've been in the spotlight at the start of the season is Liverpool. They've had a number of players injured, obviously, but their performances have been below par. In fact, losing to Manchester United in a game where everybody expected them to win, and they have just 2 points from their opening 3 games. Only the 4th time in Premier League history that Liverpool will be starting with 2 points from their first 3 games. Jurgen Klopp has a big job on his hand, especially with new signing Darwin Núñez, and of course all the injuries they have in midfield.
most of these big clubs start slow. But the Man City started slow last season, but they went on to win the league. In fact, last 3 seasons, there was a time when Man City was off the top 10. They still went on to win the league. So more often than not, we shouldn't be surprised about the downfall of Liverpool at the early stages of the league. But also, to be objective, looking at the game, some would say, are they missing Mane? Some would say, can Luis Diaz or Darwin Núñez bring in the work rate, aside from the goals and the assists and the statistics? Can they bring in the work rate that is needed whenever Liverpool on the back foot? We saw that against Manchester United. Liverpool were on the back foot, but there was no spirit that could lift up the team and make them walk off the ball. Liverpool are one of the teams that we know are very good on the ball. But what of it when they are off the ball, which is one thing Jurgen Klopp needs to work on this season. Get your players fired up, especially off the ball. Try to look at how you can infuse Matip back into the team. Konate is there. I don't know why he didn't start against Manchester United. So Jurgen Klopp has a lot of things to improve on, just like we talked about in F1 and Mercedes. Mercedes were saying they were going to be working as the season goes on, but that's not for Liverpool. If you lose points as the games goes on, how will you catch up with the likes of Man City, Arsenal, who are already picking points from the early stages? So yeah, Klopp has a lot of things to work on. Liverpool have a lot of things to work on, and they should begin to live life away from money.
All right. I mean, you talked about big teams not starting very well. You citing the example of Man City from last year. City have started well this season, although the game against Newcastle, many would say maybe they were favourites. But I mean, the Newcastle we've seen this season look like a side that will be troubling some of the big boys. Manchester City play against Crystal Palace, who have also been quite interesting this season. They've taken a point off Liverpool already this season. Man City, Crystal Palace, I mean, you would expect that with the likes of Haaland and Bernardo Silva, looks like he's going to stay, and Kevin De Bruyne, that they should be able to get all 3 points today.
So what Haaland brings to the team is clinicality, brings a point man. And what most fans may fail to realize in the games is when there's a point man in the team, attention is on the point man. And so when Haaland drags all the attention to himself, attention is left off the other dangerous players on the pitch. Foden can hurt you, Gbenga can hurt you, Mahrez can hurt you. Though they've let go of Sterling, they have a Bernardo Silva who can also hurt you from the midfield. De Bruyne can give you those split passes, which we saw in the last game as well. So yeah, Haaland has given them that edge in terms of the top striker. They couldn't have 3 points against Crystal Palace last season. One loss, one draw. Yeah, Crystal Palace won 1 and drew 1, which we felt they could have won the second if not for some officiating demeanor. But going into the game, Manchester City need to make a statement. Enough being good on paper, enough of being good because you're Manchester City, because you've won 4 leagues in 5. Start showing it on the pitch. If they drop points today, if they fail to get 3 points, then we should begin to question Pep Guardiola's use of Erling Haaland in this dangerous squad.
Gbenga, one team that started really well and is sit on top of the Premier League is Arsenal. I mean, they've outspent the league in back-to-back seasons now. Brought in some interesting players, Gabriel Jesus, Alexander Zinchenko. I mean, a number of players who also haven't played, like Fabio Vieira, who they brought in from Portugal. Saliba has been good at the back. Arsenal, top of the league. Do you think they can keep this up?
Well, the team of the Gabriels, right, is looking like the team is beginning to get cheap. And I'm going to put myself on the spot and say, if barring any injury, barring any form of shortcomings or unforeseen circumstances, I see Gabriel Jesus being among the top strikers at the end of the season in terms of goals, because he's left the shadow being a false nine, he's left the shadow of playing under a particular system. He looks very, very sure. He looks very, very confident when he's on the ball. We see more trickery. We saw less of that in Man City. We see him going past players, completing dribbles, putting the ball into the box and providing threat against defenders who he faces. So Arsenal did well bringing Gabriel Jesus, especially the left back Zinchenko from the same Manchester City, which is one of the reasons why I am kind of doubting Manchester City's progress this season, because they've let go of some players who gave them depth. will give them options. And now those options are doing for others. Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, but Gbenga,
Arsenal are looking like
generally, how well do you think Arsenal are going to do this season? Like I said, 100% record. Do you think they can keep this up till the end of the season?
The last time Arsenal had a 100% record all season long was 2004. That was beyond 10 years ago. So it would be foolhardy to think that they could be beat that. Let's not downplay how well they've started this season. They've been good and we should expect better. Mikel Arteta has found out how to lift the spirit of the team, and it can only get better.
All right, can only get better for Arsenal. Let's quickly touch on one other team before I ask you the big question before we sign out on the show. Newcastle. A lot of people have expected them to splash the cash. They didn't really do that until they've gone on and signed Alexander Isak, who comes into a side that already has some good goal scorers like Callum Wilson and Chris Wood. I mean, Newcastle, even without Isak, have looked really good this season. How far do you think they can go? Maybe the Champions League places, do you think?
All right, so fun facts. I saw an analysis from, I think, Clearfoot or so, where they're saying Newcastle have joined fourth highest in terms of points per game in 2022. So they have 1.78 points per game alongside Arsenal, only bested by Tottenham Hotspur, Liverpool, and Manchester City. That's good. That's great. They surpassed the likes of Chelsea. They surpassed the likes of Manchester United. They surpassed the likes of Leicester City. Since the appointment of Eddie Howe in November 2021, we saw a difference in coaching, a difference in game approach. Oh, Maxima, that guy is wonderful in the wings. And now bringing Isak, who could complement those runs, complement those assists, and give them finishes alongside Callum Wilson. It can only get better. So it's not really about how much they spend. It's about how well they use the players they have. They were 19th position where Steve Bruce was there, and Eddie Howe came in and finished 11th. That's huge. So going into the season, the bad issue is European places. Conference League, the Europa League, Champions League, whichever. Just make the European places, and the fans will be proud.
All right, before I let you go, Gbenga, quickly, of all the signings we've seen so far, the transfer window closes in less than a week. Of all the signings, who do you think is going to be the signing of the season in the Premier League?
I think it's already showing. Arsenal's Gabriel Jesus is already showing. He's scoring, the assists, he's improving.
You think he's going to score more goals than Erling Haaland and Darwin Núñez?
So, at the moment, he scored more goals than Erling Haaland. Are they both in 2? I think he has 3 goals. Haaland has 2. Darwin Núñez has 1 red card instead of having goals. So, again, let's allow names and brands cloud our judgment going into the season. Yes, these players tend to show their weight or blow their weight during the season. But let's analyze based on what we've seen. Based on what we've seen, Gabriel Jesus can score. Gabriel Jesus complements the chances Arsenal create. So let's just give it to him.
All right, thank you very much, Gbenga, for joining us live on Plus Sports on Plus TV this very, very chilled Saturday morning. Thank you, guys. That's the whole of the package on today's edition of the show. There's a lot of football and a lot of sports generally to follow this weekend. Don't forget, the home-based Super Eagles team are in action this weekend in Cape Coast against Ghana, trying to make it to the CHAN competition in Africa for next season. The basketball side, the Tigers are in action over there in Abidjan, trying to make it to the FIBA World Cup. And of course, in the Premier League, there are games in La Liga, in the French League or the German Bundesliga, and of course, the Italian Serie A. From all of us here at Plus TV, thank you very much for joining us this morning to listen to join in on all of our other programming. Of course, you can go on YouTube at PlusTvAfrica, and of course, on social media, you can follow us and of course, enjoy all of our live programming at PlusTvAfrica on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. My name is Wale Agbede. Until next time, do have a fantastic weekend.